Why does an ant lift 50 times its weight, while an elephant struggles to lift 1/4 of its own? The reason is the square-cube law. This law explains why the world looks exactly the way it does, and not otherwise. It was formulated by the Italian scientist Galileo Galilei in 1638. The law states, when an object changes in size, its surface area changes proportionally to the square, while its volume changes proportionally to the cube of the scaling factor. Note, if the material remains the same and the density does not change, then the mass increases proportionally to the volume that is cubed. In other words, mass increases at the same rate as volume. For example, if you increase an object like a cube by a factor of 2, scaling factor of 2, its surface area will increase by 2 squared, which is 4 times. But its volume will increase by 2 cubed, which is 8 times. Consequently, the larger an object becomes, the smaller its surface area becomes in relation to its volume. If you were to scale an ant up by 10 times, it would become 100 times stronger muscle area, but 1000 times heavier. Muscle strength depends not on the volume, but on the cross-sectional area. In an ordinary ant, the ratio of muscle area to body weight is enormous. Therefore, it easily lifts an object 50 times heavier than itself. If we were to enlarge an ant to the size of a human, its own legs would snap under the weight of its own body. Not only would it be unable to lift a load, it wouldn't even be able to take a single step. Respiration, tracheal system. Ants breathe through tiny holes in their sides. Spiracles. Air simply diffuses inboard. If an ant became giant, oxygen simply wouldn't reach the internal organs in time. It would suffocate from the inside, because the volume grew too much for such a passive system. Thermoregulation. The smaller the object, the larger its surface area relative to its volume. A tiny ant cools down and heats up very quickly. A giant ant would have to struggle with overheating, as its cubic volume would generate a massive amount of heat that its square skin surface couldn't release fast enough. Falling without a parachute. For a normal ant, air resistance is so high compared to its mass that it can fall from a skyscraper and survive. For a giant ant, gravity would become a deadly enemy. How much do you think an elephant can weigh at most? Pause the video and think. The answer will appear in 5 seconds. A male African savanna elephant can weigh up to 10 tons. An elephant isn't weaker than an ant. Being small is the real superpower. King Kong or the giant insects from old movies are biologically impossible. Nature keeps sizes in the strict grip of this mathematical law.